Hello and welcome to Capital Inc. Thanks for watching, thanks for sharing. My name's Chris Kimball. Joining me here today at the Newcast Studios in Braddon, Ginger Gorman, Social Affairs commentator, Emma McDonald, Senior Reporter from the Canberra Times, Kristen Henry from Mix 106 Breakfast, and John Griffiths, Editor at citynews.com.au. Guys, welcome.
Hooray, thank you.
Manuka Oval could get an $800 million facelift if a private consortium led by AFL club, the Greater Western Sydney Giants, gets the green light. As well as upgrading the Oval to international standards, they're talking about a massive commercial and residential development on land right around that Manuka precinct. It's been a bit of a centre of a stoush for many years over the future use of that land. We're talking a new hotel, serviced apartments, residential, commercial space, 140,000 square metres of land. This was all an unsolicited bid to the government, and the government is now considering its options. The proposal has alarmed local residents and community groups which believe they've been stonewalled. They've been looking for information about this for more than 2 years. Kristen, you've sort of spent a lot of time in that precinct. You know, what do you think about what's been put on the table here?
I feel like we've just won lotto. Like maybe I'm missing something, but I feel like someone is knocking on our door saying, congratulations, I'm going to give you $800 million. I don't understand why we're not rolling out the red carpet and clapping them in and buying them a drink at the bar. I think to be able to develop that area, to be able to woo really big AFL games, more international cricket games, will be excellent for Canberra. Okay, there may be, like with more people, there might be a little bit of noise as well. Can we somehow taper that? Can we bring that into our planning? I understand that there's going to be more residential buildings and things like that, but isn't this exciting? Isn't this something that's great? Does this mean that we don't have to pay for it, Emma, as well?
Yeah, you've done a lot of reporting on this, Emma.
Well, yeah, no, we don't have to pay for it. Although I think
cash.
Yeah, we pay for it in land, and as many would say, there are some heritage considerations that need to be very carefully managed.
But we're going to lose amenity though if we've got thousands of residents, footy fans, they're all trying to get into that tiny area.
I'm a bit surprised by the car parking. They're assuming only one person from every one of those 1,000 units is going to have a car. During game times, you know, there's an extra between 400 and 500 car parks. I don't think the car parking situation is going to be easy, but of course car parks aren't very sexy. You know, units and hotels and shops that will sell, but car parks are not. You only need to drive by Manuka to actually, I just wonder how it's all going to fit. It is a very slim parcel of land. The Oval takes up, you know, the big block, and it's got greater implications for the area because it's about connecting Kingston, connecting it back to Manuka. How is it going to impact on existing traders and retailers? So, you know, it's come out of the blue. As Chris said, people have been asking questions for years.
Are we kidding ourselves though that the ACT is really going to be a great home of AFL? I mean, this is the debate that we always had on 666 for years and years and years, even when the Kangaroos were supposedly tied to the ACT. A footy fan who I spoke to just before recording this, he was ecstatic about it, and he said, oh, we recently got 15,000 people to a game. Now in Melbourne that would be peanuts.
That's not even a training session.
You know, yeah, like at the MCG they consider it a small game when 85,000 people go. So
but maybe you've got to look at it in a way. Maybe GWS is saying we see more of a future in Canberra potentially than we do in Western Sydney.
I think they're seeing the future selling 1,000 units though,
Yeah.
and people have to remember 1,000 units. The biggest apartment buildings in this town are only hitting around 400. 1,000 is huge.
But are they a football team or are they a developer?
Well, the CEO's moving to Canberra to make this happen, apparently. They're out of the football business, they're in the development game now.
The other thing is, to be fair to the developers, there is community consultation. They're asking, they've got a design competition. You know, if they really want to get Canberra to embrace the team and the concept and come and enjoy the Oval, well, the onus is on them to make it a place that we feel comfortable supporting.
And at the moment, is it a case of build it and they will come? We're watching the Brumbies play the Waratahs and getting over 20,000 people to GIO Stadium. We're watching the Raiders now winning, and they're like bums on seats and families going out. They're seeing ticket sales rise as well.
It's still warm this time of year though.
Yeah, true.
I was about to say they'll be undercover, so maybe less snow on the families will also improve things.
But I mean, Manuka already provides a wonderful amenity in terms of the access to places to go before and after games and have lunch and things like that. It's you know, it's such a great place to go and enjoy the full experience.
But Chris, okay, you covered sport for a long time. Is there room in our hearts for the AFL, really? Are we going to see 20, 30,000 people going to games there?
Well, I mean, AFL really missed its opportunity in Canberra. The big influx of public servants from Melbourne in the 70s, there was a real AFL culture in here in the 70s and early 80s. Then the Raiders came in and we all threw our support behind that. It formed a part of
The
our...
green milk.
Yeah, the green milk.
Oh my goodness.
But that's part of our identity. It was an embodiment of actually something we could go for that said Canberra on it. But, you know, I mean,
But it's
GWS
also-
is maybe as close as we're ever going to get.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are we really going to take a Sydney team though and put our hearts behind it?
But
That's
they've got
my
Black
question.
Mountain Tower on one of their jerseys.
And it's not just AFL, like this means that we can now, if we have a facility, we can now woo international cricket games as well.
Yes.
Yeah,
And I mean, that
and I
opens
mean,
the
that's
door
the-
for other codes, and so it's not just AFL.
John, do you think you can ever get the balance right between community concerns, consultation, heritage?
There's always going to
and
be tension.
progression?
There's always going to be tension, and we do want development. We do want new houses. This town desperately needs more accommodation available. So I'm generally in favour of them. They're taking a big open community asset and they're getting the rules changed as to how it's allowed to be treated. That's not really the type of development that I'm super keen on. But I'm also not a huge AFL fan, so I guess not who they're aiming this at.
It's sure to generate a lot more debate. We're really interested to hear what you think. Please contribute to our social channels. Tell us what you think of the process with the Manuka redevelopment, and we'll see where it goes. Thanks for watching.
It's sure going to generate more traffic.
Uh-oh.